Some of my favourite games in any genre are just the simple games. The type of game where you can just shut off for a couple of hours and relax. The games where you can forget all your problems and worries and just play for fun. I personally believe that this should be the final goal for any game developing company or independent game developer. One company that has clearly thought about how games are meant to be enjoyed is none other than Gears for Breakfast, the company that created the masterpiece that is Hat in Time. A Hat in Time is best described as an action platforming game that gets every gameplay fundamental correct. This is the only release from developers Gears for Breakfast as far as I'm aware. A Hat in Time pays homage to the classics of the platforming genre, such as Crash Bandicoot and Super Mario Bros. However, A Hat in Time adds its own unique twist with a variety of fully explorable free roam areas and unique subplots revolving around your main character, Hat Girl. So join me on the journey across space and time so I can tell you why you should buy A Hat in Time. I think first we'll talk about the gameplay, so I guess, big title card. Okay, controls. They're very basic. It's not a bad thing though. What little controls you have, it doesn't limit what you're able to do in the game. The controls feel fluid and non-imposing, which is why they're so amazing. For a relaxed player or even a regular gamer, you can grasp the controls within minutes of playing the game, which is such a breath of fresh air in comparison to some games that have been released in the past. From the Hat in Time wiki, I can spot 14 different controls. This includes move, camera, look up, interact, attack, jump, use hat, crouch, center camera, camera badge, swap hats, which is very important, taunt, blow kiss, and smoke dance. The last three don't really affect gameplay like the movement controls, but smoke dance is such an icon that it might as well be listed as a necessity. Every control feels smooth and very well executed, and I must think that all of the work that went into the animations for Hat Girl alone must have taken ages to make them feel as good as they do. Right, on to Hat Girl herself. Now this is a bit of a weird one because your character doesn't talk, she is completely mute, so it's kind of hard to relate to her on a character to person standpoint. However, the designers clearly thought about this by giving her a range of animations, in the cutscenes to just walking around or running in the game. All we know about Hat Girl is that she likes hats and wants to get home. That's pretty much it. And then we've got the main antagonist of the game, which is this little Red Riding Hood, properly known as Mustache Girl. She's basically your best friend become enemy over these little things known as timepieces, which brings me onto the story. So you see this little thing here? This is a timepiece. These little shitheads fly out of your spaceship from a locked vault, by the way, over all different planets and areas. Your job is to find these timepieces and go home. Pretty simple. Apart from because it's not that simple, this little fairy tale motherfucker right here swears to you that she'll collect all the timepieces and rewrite history. So your job stops being get home and becomes beat this bitch so she doesn't create an alternate universe on your ass. And so your story starts roaming place to place, planet to planet to get each and every one of your timepieces just to go home. Now don't get me wrong, the story is very linear, it has been done before, kinda basic, but it is very fun. Not just because of the people you meet and the places you go to, but the journey along the way to kick the shit out of this 12-year-old is very enjoyable. After talking about the gameplay, I think the only thing that's fair is to go on to the visuals. The game just looks amazing, and that's not coming from me. It's why the game has, at the time of writing the script, 21,101 overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. The game pays homage to the classics like Crash Bandicoot and Super Mario Bros, and in such a time where the market for platformers was dry, it's a breath of fresh air. Coming from the design of the beautiful worlds all the way down to how Hat Girl herself looks, no one can deny the game looking good. All of the costumes for Hat Girl and her arsenal also complete the game's looks as well, seeing as though, you will be looking at Hat Girl the majority of the game. You have a variety of different costumes and hat customization options at your disposal. and I know that the majority of them are behind a slot machine type of thing on your ship, but considering the currency you need and how you don't need to pay for it with real life money, I don't really see this as a flaw. Every single character in this game is beautifully crafted and just looks amazing, from how big the mafia men are to the spooky ghost on chapter 4 or Mustache Girl for instance. They all look like they fit in this game, and that's great. Now the worlds, there are a total of 5 different chapters, 7 including the DLCs, and although that doesn't seem like a lot, I've amassed over 19 hours before writing the script and without playing the new Yakuza Metro that the game has to offer. I can definitely estimate accurately over at least 40 hours of gameplay collecting costumes and doing the DLCs that the game has. There's also an online feature that you can utilise to play with your friends in fun interactive minigames, but I'm yet to try that out. The first chapter, for instance, Mafia Town, is a great example of a tight and compact world that really utilises the size properly. The amount of things you can do in this town is insane, from helping random citizens with the Mafia like your Batman, adventure and collect yarn for new hats, play with the Mafia yourself, or collect pawns to fuel your never-ending badge addiction. You can spend hours in this first level alone just exploring and seeing what the game has to offer. And the great thing is, every chapter is like this, with a different of masterfully crafted worlds and character designs. It really is undescribable how Gears for Breakfast really put in time and effort into each world carefully and creatively. That's why the game has ascended my favourite game list and stands out in a sea of platformers. I'm now going to talk about why the sound design in this game is phenomenal and why you should listen to every OST in this game non-stop for the rest of your life. Like I said, the sound design is just on point. I mean, just from the main menu you get a burst of fun and engaging sounds that really nail on the head what type of game this is. One of the main things I look for in a game is great OSTs and sound. Gears for Breakfast really knocked it out of the park with every song that's brought to the table. Firstly, before I go on and on and on about the OSTs, the standard sounds like menu traversal, when Hat Girl slides,
you fucking idiot, piece of shit,
jumping sounds,
fuck you! I ain't having that shit!
When Mafia Goon number 2093 readies up a punch from the heavens and delivers it with fiery justice. All the way down to the small things like when Hat Girl bumps into a wall or your health bar being drained. Every bit of sound is meticulously used to make you understand what is happening at the point of time. And I mean, tell me this isn't the "your" meme. Now, on to my favourite bit that I'm going to be talking about, the OSTs. My god, is this some beautiful stuff. The OSTs are just perfect. I really can't say much other than the OSTs are perfect in every way. And yes, I know every single OST isn't Peace and Tranquility or Trainwreck, but when they're used in context that they are, they're all masterpieces. I mean, just listen to some of this stuff. This is where Smoke Dance comes into play, because any piece of music that you have going on inside the game changes the speed of your smoke dance and the area around you. to just show how much the developers have fun with this game. I mean, what else can I say? The OSTs are perfect, and if you have the game but aren't listening to them on a regular, then you ain't nobody of mine. There are so many remixes online of each OST that have had themselves put into the game, such as the Trainwreck Electro mix, that was made by the same guy as the actual in-game composers. It was such a fan favourite that they just had to put it into the game. It's also an absolute banger, so why not? Which is why I love this game and the community so much to the extent that I do. I mean, there wouldn't be so many mods and other things if the communities didn't love it. Overall, my favourite thing in games is great OSTs and good sound design, and this game really just gets it right. And now one of the most important categories in any game that you can play, fun. If my words haven't sparked your interest yet, then maybe just telling you person to person how good the game is will. First off, I'm not a big fan of platformers, never have been, but after playing this I'm fully enveloped into looking deeper and playing platformers than I've ever been. This game made me realise how much of the gaming industry I've been missing out on, and a big surprise, you know, it's a lot. From each meticulously crafted level to sound design and fun in interactive boss fights, I've had so much more fun from a game than I have done in a long time. It's such a breath of fresh air playing this, and is truly a game worth purchasing and playing for yourself. The game just works and plays well, so much that you're able to get lost in a world of pure fun and enjoyment, and really see this world through Hatgirl's eyes. I mean, any eyes but the ghost mask, because all you'd see is green. There isn't a simpler way to put it than the game is fun. That's all I have to say. You can describe it in many other ways, but at the end of the day, it's fun, and that's why you started playing video games in the first place. To have fun. So now for my final score, and this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, but it's a 10 out of 10. Really, if you haven't played this game, do yourself a favour and play it. You won't regret it, I promise. Alright, that wraps up the Hat in Time review. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you can, drop a subscribe. If you are feeling very generous, please hit like. If you haven't played this game for yourself yet, I really recommend do. If you're a bit skeptical, watch a couple of gameplays or anything, see if the game is for you. I'm yet to try the Yakuza Metro DLC, but you know, I've played the cruise liner one, and that was pretty good, so I'll get on that as soon as possible. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.